Hey y'all, today I thought I would go over in more detail the shelving unit that I built for my Suburban. Kind of show you the thought process and the way I constructed it. Now I first I made a template out of cardboard of all of this, plus the little shelving. Just use cardboard and packaging tape. I took that unit and I set it up in here and marked out all my curves to make it fit real nicely up in here. I did not want this unit to stick out any farther than what the plastic did here. I just didn't want to bring any of that into what I consider the living space here. So like I said, I used a cardboard and made a template for that, and then just transferred it to this. This is 1/4 inch plywood. I actually am not sure which wood it is. It may be a white pine or something. I'm not sure. It was just whatever had a nice grain to it. Now, I didn't do a great job at sanding this, and I've got some marks that I'm not very happy with, but it's fine. Once it's been in here, I've nicked it up. I had a air compressor sitting in here, and I hit the brakes real hard one day, and it fell over and dinged it up a little. But other than that, it's worked out fine. All right. It took me a while to get this thing exactly how I wanted it with the cardboard template. And I was trying to work with getting shelves into this window without being up against the window. I didn't want it touching it and rubbing it as I'm driving. I just didn't want any pressure against it. Now, I couldn't decide what I wanted on the back against the window. I knew I did not want to go with wood, and I wasn't sure about putting the Reflectix in there. I think at the time I didn't have any big enough to fit this area. So I ended up using cardboard. Now the other side of that is painted black, and on the outside you can hardly even tell if there's anything in it. It fits pretty tightly. You can see I got a little sun coming through right there, but that's not an issue, and I didn't quite have enough right there to cover that, but I have stuff in there and you can't really tell it. But it's worked well so far, and with it being cardboard, I don't have the concern of a lot of moisture building up behind it. Now again, I don't live in this, so it's not like I'm in here a lot, but I do some weekends, and when I go hiking I stay at trailheads, so I'm really not concerned with it being a porous material, having a moisture build up behind that. But anyway, I transferred that cardboard template to this piece of wood and just started working with it that way. I first got the whole unit, of course, the largest piece cut out. Then I started just trying to decide how large I wanted each of these. And this is really just a personal preference. I really wasn't even sure what I needed, but I just went with the best thing that I could come up with to accommodate the few items I keep in there. Now, I knew I wanted some smaller places back here. This is where I keep toilet paper, because this is where in the middle of the night I end up using the potty, my coffee can. And I knew I wanted to keep things like, you know, toilet paper and plastic bags in these little units, plus some other things that I can grab, smaller things that I can grab from the back easy when I'm at a campsite. If you're planning on, I mean, of course, obviously you can make this for any SUV, but this being the Suburban, there's something I do want to point out, and thankfully it worked out. I didn't realize it until the other day when I made this hole right here. This right here is where in a Suburban, this is where your tire jack, tire tools and everything lives, up under here. So this hole right here needs to be big enough that this slides out, and also your jack. Now, I have not had to change a tire on the Suburban since I've had it, but I did have to bring this out the other day to help my son with his, because his jack failed. And this jack, the base plate, barely fit through this opening. And I was so thankful that that I had made this the width that I did. So that's something to keep in mind if your vehicle also has the jack stored there. Make sure you have access to this. I don't know why they put it here. I don't know why they didn't put it down here. To me, this would have been the better place to have a jack, but this is just a little storage compartment that I kept access to. They really should have put it here. Anyway, so there's just a tiny bit of storage right there. So also when designing your unit, you need to keep in mind if you have any accesses behind it. That's one reason I made this flip-up door, so I could get to that if I put anything of importance in there. And it actually turns into a table with, I use a dowel that fits into this little groove and then just sits right down there on that, or that right there. It's pretty stable. I really don't use it a whole lot. I use this one more. I wanted a second one because I knew the up here where when I'm sleeping, this is what I prop up and put my telephone and my contacts and just my bedtime things there. So far, I've really enjoyed this unit. It's pretty sturdy. I don't have it actually attached here at the top. It's more wedged in a sense, but I do have it attached here and here. And what I had to do is I put the screw through there into the plastic, which I did not like doing, but I really had no choice. I needed this thing to be sturdy. And then behind here, when you take out that box, I was able to take a block of wood on the inside for the screw to screw in. So there's like a 6-inch piece of block behind that. And that just gives it, that way it doesn't pull out of the plastic, because I'm pretty sure it probably eventually would. That just gives it that support behind it. So that is all that's holding this unit in. Now I have this cargo mat here because I do still carry a lot of things when I'm not using it as a camper unit. So I needed to keep this in here, and I still needed access to this. So I had to make sure that I cut this in a way that I can open that up without having to fold this mat back. But also I had needed the support of the wood going all the way to the floor. So that's how I remedied that. Made that little blank space right there. Usually when I put this up, I have a jug of water. There it is, right here. It is actually the perfect height for this, to make this into a shelf. And that's what I put there. Now I actually have this other dowel that serves the purpose of holding this up, but I generally just use this bottle. Alright, so on to the shelves. This was just a trial and error deal of where to put the shelves, how much space I needed in each compartment. And probably looking back, I'm thinking these may be maybe just a little large for my use, maybe. I don't know. Each one of these shelves I've got mounted. I've got some, some strips of board to support them, and a divider here just to keep this stuff from shifting and keep this stuff in place here. I did not do a divider here. I almost did, and I'm glad I did not, because I ended up putting some longer stuff in here, and I needed it to go that way. Thought about dividing this, but I'm glad I did not, because I have my Reflectix window shades that goes up here, and it needs that width. I did cap this off on the front. I have my 12-volt auxiliary battery hook up here that I've got run down and up to a second battery under the hood that got connected in with a dual battery isolator kit that allows my alternator to keep it charged anytime I'm rolling. Alright, I'm going to get everything into it and let you see how all that looks with that stuff in there. I will start with the stuff I don't use very much or access very often. I put that more up here because a lot of times I'll access things from the back when the hatch is open. I keep 2 rain jackets and a fleece blanket that I keep in here, and down blanket, my window coverings stay right here. Keep them up to the front to the front here, because that's the first thing I do when I get to a place. Go ahead and cover up my windows. I started out with this inflatable mattress pad before I got this foam piece that I'm sitting on now. I've just kept this in here mainly because I also keep a small tent under the second seat. And if I ever needed to put up a tent and sleep in it, I have a mattress to sleep on. Some cups from hotels. And I just put them down in that, since there's that pocket there, I just put them down in there. Here, it's a backpacking chair. I love that thing. Short little table that I'll insert a picture of. I'm not very pleased with that little table. It's a folding grill. I'll insert a picture of that. I'm not terribly happy with that either. I have my divider curtain that goes behind my front seat. It's a blackout curtain. That stays right here. So I can get to it easily. I have 2 roasting forks. They're very important. Towel, just for whatever reason. If I had to change a tire or something and got real dirty, or I can grab this and clean up with that. Toilet paper. Probably too much toilet paper. That's 1, 2, 3. Actually, I'm gonna move that towel up to the top. 3 rolls of toilet paper, actually in a partial, that stays here. And at night, when I need to use my coffee can, I just keep this here and I can pull some off. You can never really have too much toilet paper, right? Fire starter, I need to put some more in there. Plastic grocery bags, and they just stay here. I keep a pair of some cheap rubber gloves that will help keep my hands clean if I have to work on something. Those stay up here. This is a puppy pad that I put underneath my coffee can at night in case of a mishap. I don't want to have to clean that up off of my cargo mat. This is a blow-up pillow. This actually I can use in my hammock, because I usually will throw in a hammock. But when I'm camping, that goes right there. I've got a headlamp. Lucy light, which is a rechargeable, awesome lantern. It's perfect for in here. I keep that up here. And when I get to where I'm going, I just hook it right there, turn that on, and this lights up all of this area here. That stays usually right there. I have another blanket. This is just a lightweight cotton. I have a few clothespins that I use for odd things. I'll just leave them there. I have this pillow. It's a neck bone is what it's called, that I like to hold when I'm sleeping, especially on my side. I can prop my arm up on it to keep my shoulder from hurting. And it can go right there. My fan that I run on warm nights, and sometimes if it's just me, I can leave the fan clipped here and I can plug it in there. Even though it's got a rechargeable battery, I can plug it in and turn it where it's facing me. But if my dog is also here with me, she sleeps right up here, and I will take this with a USB extension and I'll run it and clamp it, and then it'll blow on both of us that way. This is a little folding stove. I'll insert a picture of that. This is made by Bounty. It's Dawn dishwashing liquid infused Bounty paper towels. You just add water, it suds up, and you can wash dishes or your hands or anything with it. I've got 2 rolls of it, and I've just been tearing them off and keeping a few in here. Keep some back here and also some in my kitchen kit. I've been just keeping that up there. That is pretty much it for the unit. I'm really glad I went ahead and made this. I questioned the real need. I'm not able to get out as often as I'd like and camp in this, just due to life responsibilities right now that are on me. But when I do, I'm glad that I can keep this stuff in here. I don't have to take it in and out of the house. Now, my kitchen kit does come in and out. Obviously, that would take up a lot of room, and I need the rest of this for groceries and other things that I do. But this serves my purpose right now very well. If you found anything in this video that you liked, please give me a thumbs up. Drop a comment below if you have any questions about it. I'll do my best to answer you.